So today I'd like to talk to you a little bit about rotation. And the rotational ideas come from Dorothy Taubman. And I have a little statement I'd like to read to you. In the videos that I've sold, I have a little insert. And it says, to Dorothy Taubman, thank you for sharing your genius with us. Because of your work, pianists everywhere have hope for the future. Without Mrs. Taubman's work, I know I wouldn't be playing the piano. And to my own teacher, Elizabeth Moschetti, who taught me Taubman technique, I say, thank you for saving my hands and my soul. Your philosophies of life, teaching, and music are my guiding inspiration, and that is still true. And I owe a huge debt to both of these women. When it comes to rotation, people have real issues believing, does it work or does it not work? So I'm going to say that I'm in the camp of yes, it does work. And I think most of the problems people have with the idea of rotation is in the way that it's taught. So if you're going to rotate, I think you need to know what exactly it is you're rotating. So I brought a friend with me today. We've named her Morticia. She's like part of the family. So if you order the skeletal model of the arm from an anatomical supply company, this is what you get. And her shoulder joint's a little bent from riding in the suitcase. It should be up here, but basically this is a good representation of the arm. Now what most of us don't know is that you have an upper arm that goes into two bones below the radius and the ulna. And the radius is responsible for turning us over. And I think you can see that, how that works. But the ulna, if you look at it in the back, is actually your strong forearm bone. It's the tip of the elbow because it literally hooks in to the upper arm, the humerus. And the ulna is responsible for up and down. And the way that we're designed, the radius rotates over the ulna. The ulna does not rotate over the radius, but we would like to rotate in both directions. So what happens, I mean, this is easy to understand, to rotate this way. When you want to pick up, if Morticia were on her thumb and she wanted to play 2, 3, 4, or 5, she literally has to lift 4 fingers, swing her ulna out. You see the elbow has moved and the rotation has gone back to the shoulder. So when you rotate, that is actually what you're rotating when you rotate this direction. This way, very simple to see. Okay, so let's go back to the piano. Now, I think the most important thing to remember about rotation is the movement originates in the fingertips. If it originated in the forearm, we'd have to play like this. And if I tried to go faster, this is my forearm pushing my fingers around. You need to remember that the fingertips can lift rotationally either side. So then I can actually lift my fingertips, and this movement is so much smaller than if I started moving from my arm. You see how clumsy that is. And I think that's why people think rotation doesn't work, because they're beginning from the wrong body part. Now you also have to remember that rotation is only one of many movements. We have an in and out movement, we have a left and right movement, we have an up and down movement, and when you combine all that, rotation isn't doing all the work. There's so many other elements at play. It's sort of like saying the body runs on the digestive system only. Well, what about the neurological system? What about the circulatory system? What about the respiratory system? All of these things happen together. So if you were doing trills, I would say that out of all the arm movements, the rotational movement is the biggest and the strongest. However, if I'm doing octaves, I'm still rotating, but I would say the up and down movement is the biggest. But when I go up and down, I'm still rotating but certainly up and down is more important than rotation here. So the trick is to get them in just the right amounts. If I'm doing broken octaves, what's more important than rotation actually is left to right, the lateral movement. And when I do that very fast, I think you can see that my fingers in their middle are kind of a blur because they're moving across so quickly. Yes, I'm rotating, but here maybe the side-to-side lateral motion is bigger. So please think about this when you consider rotation, that rotation isn't the only thing that makes the technique work. The fingers initiate all the movements, and if you'd like to learn more, we have videos available on rotation, or come see us next summer at the Keyboard Wellness Seminar. Thank you.